Mike, is there a team that Iowa perhaps reminds you of, a team that you guys have already played this year?
They're pretty unique schematically. They're very simple. I mean, very simple. Extremely well coached. Up front, their defensive tackles, number 71 and number 90, are very good players. Very stout, very active, upperclassmen with good size. Their Mike linebacker, number 52, Quentin Alston, strong. You know, can really strike you. Really good at the point of attack. Their secondaries, veterans across the board, and good players. You know, their safeties are bigger, physical guys that run the alley well. Their corners are really built for the system. Like I said, they're well coached and know their scheme inside and out, and will get after you. So, you know, teams I'm thinking Ole Miss was like that. Although I wouldn't say there's similarities schematically. I just think, you know, philosophically there's a lot of similarities there.
Would you like facing a team that's relatively simple defensively, but may do what they do very well?
Well, you know, the reality, the bottom line is they're good at what they do. So they present a great challenge, and a challenge that you have to prepare quite a bit for.
Coach, how valuable, I mean, it's valuable, this month I'm sure is valuable for everybody, but for a guy like Josh who came in midseason and was just always getting ready for the next opponent, how valuable is it to sit back and be able to, you know, take some time and get back to fundamentals? You know,
you always talk about bowl practice affords you the opportunity to get a lot of work for your young guys, for you know, to do what we call youth development. The reality is we're playing those guys. They're starting, you know, and whether it's Josh, who started midway through the season, or any one of the 7 true freshmen that we started this year, at one point or another on our offense alone, it just means extra reps for all those guys, extra opportunities to master their trade, extra opportunities to work on their timing, and just to take another step in their overall development.
When you're playing so many of those young guys, do you find things during the season like, man, I wish we had 10 minutes to work on this, or 15 minutes to work on that, but we've got to get ready for Alabama. We just can't do it. Is this the time?
Well, as much as anything, they're throwing it to the fire, and those reps are invaluable. I mean, again, sure, there's things we could have and would like to have done better and executed better offensively, but progress was made throughout the course of the season because those guys got more and more reps. And we talk about it all the time as an offensive staff, as a full staff, that it's accumulated reps, accumulated game opportunities that's going to allow for the development of your players. So again, practice is great, but our guys have gained those valuable reps in games, which I think in the long run is going to benefit us tremendously.
The situation with your receiving core with the injury is obviously going to create some opportunities for guys. Anybody who's kind of stepped out in that regard just in these first few practices?
Sure. You got any eligibility left? Because we could use you. Those guys have worked, and just the way we practice, just the way we play, they're gaining valuable reps in practice over the course of the season. And guys like Vic Wharton in particular, you know, Ryan Jenkins, who's really come along during the course of the season, those guys are getting a great opportunity to now demonstrate in a game what they've been able to do over the course of the season in practice. So again, the games are always a little bit faster, a little bit more intense, and to have the opportunity for those guys to step in and play as they did against Vanderbilt, and as they will continue to do in this game, it's great for their overall development.
Mike, are you having to be a little bit more mindful with the skill guys, knowing that there is such little depth? Like, hey, we may not be able to push them as hard as we want to when you don't have an opponent for 3 weeks, or does that really not matter at this time of the year?
We're always going to push them hard, and this program is built on pushing guys to the brink, and then knowing when to maybe pull off or let up a little bit. But these guys, they're going to practice really hard. They're going to play really hard. Sure, there are times that we need to adjust our practice schedule because of depth issues, but that I wouldn't say it's particular to the wide receiver position as opposed to any other position out there.
How have Vic and Ryan gotten better throughout the year? What are they better at? Each of them better at now?
Yeah, again, everything is about game speed reps, even in practice, and they're processing information more quickly. They're getting those good on good reps, we call them, in practice, along with the scout team reps, and they're refining their trade. You know, whether it's releases out the line of scrimmage, playing the ball in the air, technique and blocking, you name it, across the board. They're just able to improve in all areas.
They're obviously another one of them has the size, I guess, the good player than anyone. But how much do you guys just miss? You know, you had North and Kruger, two big guys you could put the ball up to. How much do you miss just not having something like that?
Well, we still have some pretty good size at the wide receiver position. While while those guys are obviously 6'2", 6'3", 6'5", in Jason's case, you still got guys like Von Pearson, who's 6'2 plus, Josh Malone, who's 6'3 plus, and Alton Howard, although he may be a little shorter, plays with great strength and can elevate well. So, we definitely miss their size, even in the run game. Their physicality is important, but it's something we've instilled in all our players and all our receivers, and all of our guys play with that same mentality.
Typically, do you change much during a bowl preparation to take advantage of that time? Or
we are going to be completely different. Hopefully, Iowa gets a copy of this. We're going to be wishbone running some option with Josh's feet. Now, again, you always have, anytime you have an extra week to prepare, as in a bye week situation, or in this case, multiple weeks in a bowl game, you're always going to have some wrinkles that are different. But the nuts and bolts, the meat and potatoes of the offense doesn't change. And what we do is what we do. We've always emphasized it's not about the scheme, it's about how we play, the effort, the tempo, things like that. We'll have a couple of wrinkles here and there, but our guys understand it's more about playing our style of football than anything else.
What do you see from Iowa schematically so far? What stands out to you?
Very sound, very simple. Schematically, they do what they do, and they do it really well. They're number 8th in the country in total pass defense. They're 18th in total either scoring defense or total defense. When you're simple as they are schematically, you can really coach to what people are going to try to do against you. You know what the coverage beaters are. You know what the run game beaters are, and they do a good job of coaching the details of their scheme. And you can tell with how they play that they are well coached and well versed in their scheme. And then on the flip side, it also allows them to play really hard and really fast, and that's something that they do well.
Like, I know every year, obviously, guys get hurt. This is football, but with what y'all have had at the receiver position this year, how difficult have some of those losses been?
Sure. Depth everywhere I've ever coached is an issue. College, NFL, high school, you name it. I don't know if there's any team out there that's going to say we can just keep rolling guys in. And when you get multiple guys dinged up in multiple positions, sure, that plays an issue. But it's part of the game, and our guys understand that, and that's why we practice, and that's why we take the approach we take of investing so many reps in our backups and in our younger guys in the course of the season, in the course of practice, to allow them to develop so that when their opportunity comes, they need to take advantage of it.
Obviously, with not having Marquez and with not having Jason, a couple of the towers there, the big guys, how much does that change things in the passing game without those two, really big body guys out there?
It won't change things tremendously. We got some guys that again, Alton Howard plays bigger than he really is. Josh Malone can go up and get the ball. Obviously we've used Jason and Marquez's size mostly in the red zone, and sure, we'll have to have some new wrinkles there, but how we play the game is we've used the size to our advantage, but it's not first and foremost what we leaned on.
Is there added emphasis on tight ends when the wide receiver depth is what it is?
We're always looking for balance.
Yeah.
Run game and pass game, obviously, and when it comes to distributing the football, it's on. Obviously, it's at the hands of the quarterback and at the hands of the play caller to make sure the ball is distributed amongst the playmakers. And part of that, yes, is dictated by what the defense is giving you.
Mm-hmm.
But our guys, if you look at the statistics from our season, it's not like we've necessarily had one guy that's been the quote-unquote go-to receiver. Our guys have stepped up when the opportunity's been presented and made plays, and that's the advantage to our scheme and the freedom we give our quarterback to find the open receiver.
Like how important is top defense for Josh, and when he doesn't maybe have it, maybe just football is going on? How much can you benefit from this? How much are you kind of trying to talk
for our
about
whole
that?
team as much as anything? It gives them the opportunity. Obviously, we're not dealing with the pressures of academics and everything else that goes on during the course of the semester. Right now, they can really focus on two things. They can focus on football and they can focus on their teammates. It gives them an opportunity to bond and get together and really focus on the camaraderie that's an important part of team chemistry. You know, for example, we're done today. I don't even know what time it is, 2 o'clock, I think. And they'll have their meals and their treatments and things like that. But now they have the rest of the day to hang out, watch video with one another, really dive into the opponent, and just get to know one another that much better. And again, Coach Jones has always stressed the importance of family and the importance of getting to know your teammates in our program. And this just gives them the whole bowl opportunity, gives them that chance to do that.
How important was it to take one more step, win one more game, get bowl eligible this year?
It's huge, you know, and again, we've always talked about the process and making progress, and you know, you haven't wrapped up 12 games now, and you look at the progress we've made, and again, sometimes it's not apparent to the naked eye, but when you look at the body of work and the accumulation of what we've been able to accomplish with our tempo, with our production, you know, we our offense scored 66 more points this year than it did last year. You know, we were able to run 100 more plays this year than we did last year. We earned 26 more first downs. We threw 9 more touchdowns and 4 less interceptions. Our red zone percentage improved 15% over last year. And again, it's just part of the process. You know, and all that being said, we were able to accomplish that while starting 7 different freshmen who accounted for 44 different starts. You know, that's more than twice as many as any other offense in the conference. So the progress is there. It's evident. Again, when you look closely, you can tell that this team, this offense is making progress. Now it's just a matter of taking the next step. You know, of some of those close games that we could have and should have won, now winning those ball games. And again, this bowl allows us to just get a step closer to that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.